Okay, as the amp gauge, you can see it sticks out a little bit now. On this gauge they have this bracket right here which actually holds the gauge to whatever you're going to be using it normally, but that's actually going to work perfectly because it's lined right up with the face. So you see how it's perfectly square with the, it needs to be bent a little bit, but this moves around a little bit, but it's pretty much going to line up the gauge perfectly. So what I did is I took, this is a test sample, old, really bad, like crappy, I don't know how these things got this black all the time around the gauges, but now I have to take this face off, I have to take these off to figure out the depth. So what I'm going to do, in theory, is you take this, slide it in here, and you'll notice these guys will slide in inside these brackets here. So I will mark this bracket here, drill a hole and tap it, and figure out the depth. So, because you have to have the depth for the light, and the light comes through here. This hole right here, you got this that plug-in light, and then like it will be lined up. Well, you gotta make sure it's lined up too. It's not set right, but it's actually is going to line up. So these things, this can move a little bit, so I have to move this a little bit. So it's cockeyed actually on the piece, so I'll fix that. But it's gonna line up. Surprisingly, that just makes my life a lot easier. You can see how it's kind of sticking upwards. But these actually, they have to be locked down, so they're moving around a little bit. You can see it should line up almost perfectly. So that's how I'll get this mounted. Worst case to worst, you know, I've got a little bit of play here too, as I can twist it, move it over a little bit if I have to. It doesn't line up perfectly on these holes. Because, you know, the interesting thing is these are not square, and it's not this way. So it's already got the, like if you look at the, if you're looking at the fuel gauge, they all have that little kink built in. So you're looking at it square, right? And you look at it square, it's got that little tilt to it already. So if this is mounted square, which it essentially is, it'll have that tilt built into it automatically. So easy, fairly easy. Drill and tap the holes here, put the screws through here, done. Using the Harbor Freight belt sander worked pretty good. So you can see here now I've got still this, I'm gonna put a couple clips in it. This kind of shifts around. I got a still good edge back here. This is looking a lot cleaner now too. You can see it's like right on the money now. A little bit, just needs maybe a little bit taken off of here. Bottom edge is good now. This bottom edge, still good. Now it's good. I think I just need a hair off of here. Still, I need to mark that. Just that little edge off. Just run it a little bit on that one, and that's good. Take it off. I'll mark it. So I went away from making a whole tool and doing it, so it just wasn't going to work. And then trying to get this little edge cut off by hand is a pain in the ass. So I'm just sanding it. This stuff sands real easy. Okay, now we have utter perfection here. See a nice ridge. So everything's perfect now. This is my final pattern. I had to move. That clip actually broke off, the corner piece, and this piece needs moved. This needs adjusted one way or the other. So I think it has to go this way. So I'll do some final adjustings and some final markings of these guys. So I'll do a final mark of where this actually clip is, and then use that, because you know, so some of the clips move. Like this one's not pretty at all. See how it's kind of cockeyed in there? And you can tweak them, of course, but I'll take the tape off now. I don't like this. I have this bash right here in the door. I don't know if it was from the factory. I didn't drop it, so I assume that was from the factory. So yeah, I have factory one of one with the door down, with the bash in the door from the factory. So I'll go ahead and make my template now and get the other one cut out and start figuring out. I'm going to order some vinyl, I'm going to get some color coordination going on here, figuring out that stuff. And now that I need to figure out, I am going to go with a two-tone vinyl with the turquoise vinyl up top and then like a darker blue underneath. Because the seats actually are going to be turquoise and like a blue. So it's like my interior colors are going to be turquoise and a blue. It's not a perfect, not like a dark blue, it's like a light blue, ocean blue or something. So I guess I'm kind of going the Bahama, the Bahamas for the DeSoto for the spring special. But it's kind of where I'm going with this, kind of where I've been heading that way. Because the carpet, like I said, the carpet's like an ocean blue. So see how it goes. I busted out the scroll saw. You want to get a nice, super clean cut on this, so I use a good scroll saw. Got a nice, I stick right on the line too. So I'll go ahead and get this one cut out, and I'll make another one for my final pattern, and I want to keep. I'll clean it up I always clean up the edges with a sandpaper too, and I marked where the edges. This is where the cut goes this way, so I'll cut this one really good with the holes, and then use this I'll even mark these on the final template too. I need to get the door. I'll do on the final template, I'll get the door handles and stuff cut into it, and the armrests and stuff, and the window crank. So, and I'll get the screw holes at the top. I'll get a whole final pattern thing before I'm done. So, okay, second cut is good. I need to smooth it up a bit with the sandpaper. A little high right there. Smooth it up a bit. Otherwise, it's good. I can start cutting holes. And the one I have, by the way, the maker of the board, and I think I got at Lowe's, is DPI. For proper embossed tile and smooth panel board. So that's the make I got. Of course, they must be owned by Loctite, because they're suggesting Loctite. So German company. So there you go. I got more toys, so I picked up some upholstery seam. I don't mind the color. But that's not too bad. Kind of along the same tone. So that's the piping for the seats. This will probably go away for the majority of the year, but you can buy this stuff on eBay. It's all glued together. Kind of saves you some time. And I bought a tool. Like I said, I'll do a tool review of a load saw magnetic tool holder. So thin, powerful magnets, chemical and abrasion. Obviously this thing would get filthy. And what this is a tool holder, right? So you're like, okay. And really it comes down to the strength of it. So what you do is when you're working on a car, you put your tools here, you put your nuts and bolts here. So And then you can actually obviously rip this off and take it with you. So figured it's nice things to work on engines and stuff when you're working on, if I'm working on my other car. Made in the USA, it was like $40, so it wasn't cheap. You can get Chinese versions for like 20, but I like this one because it seemed to be, the chemical resistance one is really what I wanted. So you can throw all kinds of shit on it, but kind of nice to work on. So working on engines and stuff, so I'm always doing that. Inside engine bays, so picked it up. Probably an impulse buy. I shouldn't have bought it, but I'm always losing engines in the engine bay and stuff, parts in the bolts in the engine bay and stuff. So this is that's the dash light plate cover. So I don't know. I can't find a lens for that. I get a lighted dash. Maybe I could make this. Pretty simple one, but take a piece of Lexan, thin Lexan, cut some holes and make one. That is the dash part, the dash light that goes, where does it go? I think it goes right there. So you can have lighting on your dash. And I probably will do that. I'll probably put the light in there. Of course, that's another 5 hours of work, but I do have my gauge sorted out a bit on my dash. Look at the two-door hardtop rear armrest. So this one's obviously, the vinyl cover is trash. Could use it as a pattern, but I don't really think I need to. It's a pretty simple pattern. It's just a piece that goes like this and a piece that goes like that. So this one's got a little bit of rust on the bottom here. It's got a screw hole here. Little tabs that go here, still present. It's got a little tab here. There you go. If you want original markings, there's a 43 and a 2. I don't know. Maybe that's just to use this color. A little bit of rust. Looks like there's a connect on the latch here, and that latches in probably somewhere here. Probably latches right here. So it's going to latch right there. And screw something, or go on the inside or something, hold it there. And then, like I said, there's a screw in the front here, screw here, and then screw in the back. Looks like there's a screw hole here, but there's no hole in there, so maybe they just forewent. I'll probably just use, I'm not going to obviously destroy this. You could make this yourself fairly easily. You could make it look almost 100% original. This little lip is kind of a pain in the ass. That one shouldn't be bad. You know, and you could put these, you got the bead roller, you could just bead roll that in. Let me see what this side looks like. See if it's got the mark on it. Yeah, there you go. So if you want factory markings. So this has a 43 and a 2. And this one has a 16 and an 8. Don't understand that one, but now this is glued on a lot. A little bit of rust on this guy, but these were original. I imagine these always got rust. Those spot welded. Those are spot welded right there. I don't know where my freaking camera is. But so there you go. 16 and 8. 43 and 2. Don't understand that. Maybe I would expect it. I would have thought some of those would have been the same, but they're not. So that's an interesting number. But like I said, this will be kind of a template. Let me try fitting it on here. I guess it's just for people that, if you're ever looking for original, it goes on the inside of this guy here. There's that clip right there. It goes on the inside of that, obviously. And then a screw goes up there on the back. And then the screw is going to attach right here at the floor. Now, obviously, it doesn't have door panel. I think it needs to come up a bit. But you'll... And it's got... It looks like it does have something here. It looks like the actual screw does go through there. Mine didn't have it on it, but like I said, might have been in a hurry. And it does lock down in here. So it's got a pretty good lock. It locks down pretty good. So there's this bracket right here, and the screw goes through there. You can see this. There's a slot in that little bracket right there, and that's how you get a. Obviously, you know, the thing connects here. The panel connects here. These guys here goes all the way, and then that vinyl just folds into here and makes it look nice. So it doesn't look good because it's got steel, but it's got rusty steel. But that's the general install process. So it's looks like it kind of goes like that. It's got the knife, got the still pushing. It's pushing out a little bit, but that's the way it goes. So there you go. 2-door hardtop armrests. Mine need to come in. I do not have this gap here on the back seat, so I have to figure out. I'm basically going to make this kind of. This actually is going. This seat would actually fit. So I got that inch, so I'll make it so it cuts off there. So I'll make a similar armrest. So I can't really get these. I can't really get the armrest built until I get really the seats in place where they need to be 100%. So my next trick is to get these back seats locked in place, and get this guy in place, and then I'll know how far. I mean, I'm going to round it off. I'll just round it off like something, and use that basic sloped concept here and round it back and put the armrest here. I guess I could put a cigarette ashtray in it, but ash receiver, sorry. But probably not. Could put a USB connector if you're back here charging your phone, but oh, I have one on the, sorry, I have one on the console. I think I have, no, I don't know. I'm not sure if the 2004 Cadillac had that yet, but I'll look. I gotta get those. Well, these seat covers will eventually come off, probably just for this year. I don't know if I'll have enough time. I'll probably be getting on other cars before I actually, this is kind of a winter job, about recovering this in the winter. Indoor job. I save certain indoor jobs for this kind of stuff, but really about getting this stupid freaking headliner. Now it's warming up, but anyways, later. Okay, this is the package tray covering that came in the stock in the car, in the 58. This was out of 58. There was no hardboard or cardboard or anything. It was just some of the roofing paper with like roofing tar underneath it, and that's it. So you can see it was collapsing here and there. So not much to it, but